Oh, beautiful. My green screen's out of place. I forgot. Anyway, hello.
I moved my camera angle. When I stream, I moved it on my other monitor. But because usually, the game is the main focus.
Sure.
So I moved it to where it's more direct. So I keep looking now that I have.
You've trained yourself, right?
Yeah. So I waved.
I need to train myself to look here
cameras.
as well. Because my chat, I moved my chat over here. Because normally I look over here on my second screen. Now I have to look here at you.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, Scarlett. I'll be here. I'll be watching chat. It's fine. Okay, so hello.
Hi.
Officially,
I'll wave to the right camera this time.
Hi.
Boy.
Welcome in. Beth, please tell us who you are, what you do.
I am TheDrunkBeth. I became a hashtag in a large Facebook group, and I've just kind of adapted it as a username. But now I'm also a streamer. Since the last time we spoke, I have published 2 books.
What? I'm trying to be quiet, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I've been a writer for a really long time, and during lockdown, technically I have 3 books, but one of them is erotica. I don't really talk about that one much.
I'd buy it. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Give me a link. I'll ASMR read it on chat on stream.
But the other ones, the Java Tavern series, I've been really deep on the writing community on Twitter, and it seemed like a lot of people needed diversity in their murder mysteries. There's a lot of heteronormity and a lot of you can just spend hours going down the rabbit hole on Twitter for non-binary people wanting to be seen in books.
Hi.
So
it's me.
I have a cozy murder mystery.
I love it.
That the main character Eliza, she's pansexual, which my full name's Elizabeth. I go by Beth. She's Eliza. It's like my idealized parallel universe. She owns a coffee shop. She solves murders. And she fell in love with her non-binary employee that ends up being this complete computer nerd that anything tech savvy, they figure it out for her. And her best friend and main barista get into a lesbian romance. So I tried to cover all bases.
That's awesome. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah. So I'm currently writing the 3rd book now when I can focus.
If you have a link tree or something for the books, I'd love for you to put that in chat.
Oh, will it let me put a link?
Yeah. I was considering turning off my links today, but I haven't, like a fool. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, yeah.
Drunkbeth. All right, drunkbeth.com. Can we also buy the erotica book there?
Well, you can find it on Amazon, but I have an author page on Amazon. Let me see if I can find that.
All right, or you know what to do. Buy me the book. Buy me the book, and it'll happen.
Wait, where's my... I was feeling responsible and closed all my tabs. I have a problem with having 50 tabs open at once.
Do you have ADHD?
TikTok showed me that algorithm, I think I had the app open 45 minutes, and it was like, do you have focusing problems? And I was like, it can see me.
Yeah, algorithm's smart. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can grab it later. if it's gonna be too much trouble now.
Oh wait, here it is.
Oh, you found it. Never mind.
Marketing. Author page. Yeah, the author page will have all the books.
Tell me I have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD, right?
Oh, it's so bad. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see if this works.
Okay.
That should. I'll have all of
that's your name.
Yeah, and I've also started writing on their Vela. I'm just trying it out because I had started a book and never really. I got so heavily into the Java Tavern that I neglected it. But it's a feminist Medusa tale that also veered into the erotica thing, and I was fighting it, and then I just let it go. And I'm editing each chapter and posting them there just to see if it'll pan out. I don't know. It hasn't really had many views.
Wait,
either.
is Murders in the Pine the romantic novel that you're saying it is?
Yes, it is kind of a satire on how women.
The serial killer. It's literally that's the description, basically. I'm dead.
Well,
I'm sorry, can I read this description?
Yeah.
The Pines was once a thriving golfing community. Theodore Leslie Sr. prided himself on such an accomplished golf course and encompassing housing development in eastern North Carolina. What Theodore never expected was that his golf course would be used by a sex-crazed serial killer to dump his victims for decades. Leslie was just looking for an escape from a bad situation at work. When she booked that vacation at the beach in North Carolina, somehow Leslie ended up in a much scarier circumstance when she caught the interest of the killer.
Yeah.
Wait, is Leslie girl or guy?
Girl.
Theodore
Yeah.
Leslie Sr. Leslie Sr. And then
Yeah,
it's his daughter, Leslie.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
It's kind of a satire on how a lot of women sexualize serial killers.
Yep.
So it's kind of
Fine.
if you
wanna fuck
analyze the
killer? Here you
book-
go.
yeah, if you analyze the book, it's like should we do that? But then there's also a lot of sex all thrown in there, and it's
Thanks for that. We appreciate that. But yeah, I love it. I love the commentary, satire commentary. It's great stuff.
yeah. And I actually live on an abandoned golf course, which is how I got the idea.
You haven't been fucking any sex-crazed serial killers, have you?
No, but
good.
I'm low-key scared that people in my neighborhood will realize that I wrote this, because the Pines is really not that big of a step away from what our community is actually named.
Oh no.
And
The trees.
and there's a sex scene at the church that is like for real at the end of our neighborhood.
Does anyone know what you write?
They're gonna know I'm like a heathen.
I love this. This is great. You're living very vicariously.
Yeah,
Very on
and
the edge.
they recently listed the golf course for sale if it's yours for the low cost of $3 million.
I'll buy it. That's pretty cheap, actually.
And to look at the pictures, these pictures must have been right before they just let it be abandoned, because it's all grown over, and like
Can't even tell.
the man-made ponds are more like swamps now. And
So what you're saying is that if you go there at night, you'll hear the distinct pounding of ancestral drums, and in your days of the night, you'll hear somebody once told me.
Yeah, and like the history, like the Theodore Leslie person is completely made up, but the historical markers, like the year it was founded, I mentioned the military base that's close by. You can hear planes coming from it probably. My stream has a plane count. Every time they hear a plane, they count
great.
it.
Anyway, we should probably get to what we were actually here to talk about.
Oh yeah.
So, without further ado, how has content creation and streaming affected your mental health, and eventually vice versa? How has your mental health affected your content creation and streaming? It's two questions, but I know they both intertwine.
Well, I learned very early on that I would have to be open about my mental health struggles because I have really high anxiety. I used to be a very well-functioning high anxiety person, but I think everybody through the big panini we went through, it either helped you or did not. And I was more of the not.
Absolutely.
And I've had to really refocus on how I can be functional in a capitalist society when I cannot be a cog in a wheel. I can't.
Same.
And I don't have the personality to get along with the people that would be my bosses in a way that's beneficial for my longevity anywhere. Because I just... and I grew up in the type of household where I had to adjust to other people's emotions, negative emotions, for survival. So if I noticed somebody was using negative manipulation on me in a professional setting, I would just go straight over their head to HR or whoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be like, this needs to be addressed. And usually that never worked out good for me. It was usually bad. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You would like to think that, like, now that you're in a situation where people shouldn't be harassing you, and they have like an HR set up and you report it, like it gets taken care of, but not always the case.
Well, North Carolina is an at-will state, so
there we go. It's North Carolina.
Yeah, which is also a reason why I put all of these diverse people in my hometown, because it's so hard here to be in the Bible Belt. All of the horrible, the things that make the internet bad are alive and well in real life in North Carolina. And
yeah, I'm
just trying to find a way to overcome it and be real about it and not pretend like it's not actually there, because the more people pretend that it's not actually there, you're just enabling it for another generation.
Oh man, that explains a lot. Yeah. It's kind of like it's choosing ignorance, really. It is. And, everyone here knows that I'm vehemently against being willfully ignorant. And just to ignore the problem just makes it worse, because then it's like, all right, great. Now no one's stopping the bigots and haters. And you can't just be like, well, it hasn't happened to me, so I don't have to worry about it. And it's like, that's not how this works. Like, you're a shit ally.
Yeah. And that's also like the verses that you're talking about. Like really early into this, I knew that I can't pretend like I'm perfect. Like I can't like you see how I prepared. This is my living room. This is what my living room looks like. Usually on this side, there's a big pile of laundry. Sometimes, like right now, I shove it to where you can barely see. Other times, there's just a pile there, and I just make sure that you're not seeing like my kids' underwear or whatever.
Right. We recently went through and cleaned the house, but beforehand it was pretty much a mess. So I completely understand that.
Yeah, and I just try to normalize being normal, because
You're just a human.
right, and it is very misleading for people that are either coming of age or just coming into adulthood and really starting to look around and notice things outside of themselves.
Right.
And they have all of these false notions of what it means to be an adult and functioning.
Yeah.
You can function in various ways. And especially if you're neurodivergent, you have to find new ways to function.
Absolutely. Yeah. God, you just triggered a whole rant from me.
Oh no.
Mods, write this idea down. Put it in a mod chat or something. The effect of hype streamers on children's development, because my initial thought was just like, I feel like a lot of kids consume a lot of like, very fast flash content. So like if they're starting to grow up and look around and like, realize like the world around them fucking exists, like how do they go from flash content to understanding like you have to actually like wait and you have to actually like work hard in like life and stuff, and shit ain't fair. And for the kids who are like out there, because I could literally probably see a kid in your chat right now being like, oh my god, well, your living room is so dirty, like what the fuck, like saying all this hateful shit. And it's just like, all right, like where the fuck are you gonna be in 20 years? Like, can you be any better? Like, come on, let's get real.
Yeah.
Like bullying is childish, and a lot of creators make funny content out of bullying others. Obviously, it's mostly staged, but like when you're growing up, maybe not realize that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just triggered a kind of a rant idea in my head.
Well, I've also never met anyone that on a regular day, they're not expecting anybody over. They have a pile of laundry in their house right now. It's clean, but it's in a pile.
Yep.
And if you're missing a sweater or leggings or whatever, it's probably in that pile and you just go get it and the world doesn't end.
Yeah. Pretty much. So as a streamer, because sometimes some other streamers like don't kind of push away from like how they really are, and they try to put up a front. But you were just like, no, I'm gonna embrace this. This is who I am. I'm anxious, and that's just going to be a part of me and my streams.
Yeah, I actually include it in the title on days that I'm already feeling overstimulated, and I'll put in there 0 tolerance today, don't have the patience for it, or
I love that.
Or chill streaming only. It kind of sets the mood. If somebody comes in there, they come in hot, they've never been in there before, they want to start picking at everything. I just, it's like, okay, well, now you'll never come back to my stream. You're banned. You're going to have to beg to come back. Have a great day.
Yeah. No, honestly, I commend you for that. I commend you for that immensely, because that's a very good boundary you're putting, because you're like, this is the vibe. And you have to set the vibe. You are the master of your stream. Folks in here know that I have sometimes put a stream title to being like, hey, I'm not feeling too well, but it's okay. I still want to vibe. I still want to be cozy. Like, hell, literally, I streamed yesterday, which is I don't normally stream on Thursday. And I literally my going live notification was like, Waba's feeling a type of way.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to do that, especially in the Twitch universe where there is a lot of exchange. It's not like on Instagram where you put that energy out and it's over. You're just maintaining the comments, but your energy is already spent. For Twitch, you have to keep the ball rolling. You have to stay interesting. You have to be involved in the chat. You have to do all these things. And streaming is a lot harder than anybody has talked about. It's it's not easy.
I think
You
anyway,
have
yeah.
you
Oh,
have to
let's
learn
hear it.
a whole lot.
You do, yeah. I mean, never mind being a streamer, of being a content creator as well. Like, you have to learn how to edit. You have to learn how to like market yourself. You have to learn SEO. All sorts of lovely things. Streaming is like, you're supposed to be live entertainment. That's what streaming is effectively. So it can be very easy to feel like, it can be very easy to feel that imposter syndrome if, you're low energy or something and someone's come in and it's just like, resident sleeper. Like, you're so boring. Do something. Like, and like, obviously not like, going full time with streaming is not for everyone. But I know it's a lot of people's dreams. But, that's part of the pressure there, is that you have the pressure to perform. And like, your core will stick around, but like, as far as like actual audience viewership, you got to be entertaining. And you have to provide a value.
Yeah, and it's hard when, like, this year has been very hard for me because through December and me doing a bunch of vendor events and it being holidays, it was like I could only manage to do one stream a week. And then January, I hit the like after holidays blues. The winter depression was real. And then right on the cusp of it, a neighborhood boy brought over the plague, and it took me a month to recover. Like, everybody in the family was down. January was just gone. And I wasn't able to stream at all.
Shit, I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, I was, and he was asymptomatic. He tested positive. I think his stepdad ended up having symptoms, is how they found out. But, they traced it to him and like a kid in his class. He goes to a different school than my children. Like, it was like a final destination of how we caught the plague, because I still wear masks everywhere. Like, it's just, it was a thing.
Same.
So
wear your mask, kids. I don't give a shit if they live with the mandate. Wear your mask.
Yeah. And then I was all trying to recover from that, trying to get back into my routine of 5 days a week streaming.
Oof,
and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So then I changed it to where I was only Tuesday through Friday, so I can catch up on my regular house chores.
Yeah, you have to say.
It was just really hard. And now it's like I stream once every 2 weeks, because there is a such thing as a bad stream.
Yes, there is.
When you're just not feeling it, maybe the chat's a little mean, and you have to figure out a way to overcome it when you're already feeling pretty empty. And then on other days, you're feeling completely empty, and you come in to make your content and everybody's welcoming, happy, and they give you the energy that you need to borrow, and you never knew that you needed so bad, and it's awesome. But you don't know until you get there, but you have to get there.
I definitely live for those moments of wholesomeness. We had a lot of them yesterday. Like, everyone really uplifted me. And it's great to have that community. I think that's why a lot of people come to Twitch in general, is for the community, and for that sense of not feeling so alone. I know there's a lot of COVID streamers. I am technically one of them. I started in late July of 2020. So, God, it's fucking wild to me. We've literally been year three, everyone. Ding, 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 ding. Give it up for year 3. Oh. Holy shit. Yeah. I want to address Fly High Guys as well. Comment. It's extremely competitive. Streaming definitely, I think there's, okay, so I try to stay away from the streamer Twitter of competitiveness. And as a mental health content creator, as a cozy content creator, as a I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want content creator, as the your next Markiplier content creator. Lofty fucking goals here. I would rather be cooperative and collaborative than competitive. I want to work together with folks to grow our mutual understanding of things like SEO, like how to build a community, like, oh, what kind of things do you do to moderate your chat, stuff like that. How do you keep yourself well? How do you keep yourself from being burnt out? The answer is you fucking don't.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there are serious like things that you can do to like kind of help that. But it's like, how do you get yourself in your mentality? What's your pre-stream routine? Stuff like that. It's really nice to have other streamer friends that you can turn to and be like, hey, some really crazy technical shit happened in my stream. Do you know anything about this? And they're like, yes. And between that and YouTube, like, you'll figure it out. I've always told people, like, don't fall for content engagement shit on Twitter. Just don't. I know people are doing it because it fucking works, but it's short-term engagement and it's not long-term sustainable IMO. Don't fall for streamer coaching bullshit. You can probably find a guide on YouTube. Like...
And that's in every aspect.
Yeah.
I'm in a bunch of like self-publishing groups and they're like, for $50, I'll walk you through the steps. And it's like, I didn't know what I was doing. I asked a friend who self-published and I spent 2 days on YouTube and I figured it out. And when I made mistakes, I corrected as I went because that's just how I am.
Because I think, again, it's really preying on that notion of like, fast, just instant gratification, right? Just instant fucking gratification. Like, oh shit, I want to get popular. Oh, this big person's like doing stream coaching. Don't become content for other people, all right? Reaction content is the biggest shit in the world, and it becomes harmful against smaller creators for sure.
Oh, yeah. Content creators, especially on the grander scale, you start to get into that like toxic positivity.
That too.
That I don't have the energy for it. And I like to keep things in the positive, but if somebody really needs to vent or they really are having something bad happen in their life that they need to put out there for their own self, I don't see the harm in that. I don't see why people like to pretend like everything's hunky-dory and everything's perfectly fine. It's like looking at Instagram and that filter of everybody just assuming that everybody's house is always perfectly clean and the kids are always dressed coordinated and clean, and there's always a huge dinner made every single night, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, the everything's perfect mask. Yeah, I mean, again, I know some streamers that do that. I know particularly some like VTubers that try to run their VTubing as like a business, as 100% in character. They try not to say anything personal because like that's nice for the branding. But I think it's a lot. I think it's harder, and I think it's kind of ridiculous for face streamers to just like ignore that kind of stuff, especially if you're neurodivergent. Like, get rid of the furniture. People can't know that we sit.
Yeah, and especially for this type of medium, like we're regular people.
We're people.
We all get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Like, come on. That's just a regular thing.
Pretty much.
And I just don't want to cater to that. And
Same.
I don't have the capacity to cater to that side of the internet either as a content creator. Right. And my mental health just won't let me do it anyway. So I would rather, like, having Discord has helped so much. Because after January and the plague, and then February, I just could not. It was so hard to get the balance back of sending the kids off to school, getting the house semi-maintained, and then my husband's car broke down. Like, it was just a series of things that were bad. And I would just reach out to my Discord and be like, hey, all of this stuff happened today. I don't know what to tell you other than I'm sorry. And they were all like, no, thanks for checking in. We're glad that you're still around. Glad that you're getting healthier. Just let us know. And when you're ready, we're ready. And honestly, having that type of mentality as a content creator helped me the most as far as my mental health goes, because at a regular job, they would have fired me 3 times over by now. But as a content creator, I'm establishing my own boundaries, and you just got to push forward.
You're your own boss. You set your own schedule, and you got to set the schedule that works best for you. You know, if that means one stream every 2 weeks, and you put out other content other places, you know, then you do that. If that's what works for you. That's the really great thing I'll say about streaming and content creation, is that you have to go at your pace. And I know, unfortunately, because of the nature of, like, you know, basically social pressure of being a streamer and being a creator, you know, you feel pressure to create content right now, you know. But you can't hate yourself into perfection. I forgot the exact quote that Dave uses, but yeah, you can't guilt yourself into greatness. There it is. Brain worked. Right. I fucking love that quote. Seriously, yeah. Go your place. I like what Leo said up here, though. Absolutely can still feel bad within a competitive environment, because Twitch does have that nature. Since I know platforms like Twitch kind of low-key encourages it, yep. It's hard not to compare with others, right? You're constantly comparing to other people. There's like that urge to compare. Why I've stayed away from content creation beyond its harsh environment. It takes a lot to be able to ignore it and really focus on yourself. It's admirable. Yeah, and I try to do my best with that. Some days I fail, but most days I'm pretty good. And I'm like, you know what? I'm killing it today. I'm having this conversation, and I'm really happy about it. And toxic positivity is a whole nother fucking beast. And it screwed you over last time, Javi, yeah. Made friends with streamers who could do no wrong. Oh, yeah. God, can we... Fucking hell, yeah. There's a big... This stream should also be labeled, streamer red flags. Because there's a lot of streamers out there who act in such a way and talk in such a way as if they are above reproach. You know, they can do no wrong. And yet, you know, when Pavi was talking about having a hard time, there's like, keep it out of their channels because there's no room for that there, you know? And I get it. I get a lot of streamers don't want any people to like trauma dump or whatever the fuck ever. I hate that term. I understand that. Like, they just want to keep the fucking positive hype energy because that's what gets them money, you know? But like, I'm not for that. I'm for having people be wherever the fuck they are. All right. Like, obviously read the room, but you be wherever you are, which is why I do allow people to vent in here, because I can handle it well, my mods can handle it well, and people can come and go as they please, you know? And it's just like, oh, well, I don't like this game you're playing, Waba. And I'm like, all right, come back later when we're playing something you do like, I guess, if you want to. Like, you don't have to be fucking rude.
Yeah, and I think part of the struggle and being a content creator is you do have to have a level of ego, and because not everybody wants to be seen or even heard. My radio background has helped a lot because I do know the bare basics about like media conversation and finding out my levels of things. But if radio wasn't my background, I wouldn't have the personality to be able to do this. But then you get to the extremes where people grew up always wanting people to look at them and always wanting to like them, and then they get this platform that people love them and they do want to see them, and even the little bit of I'm glad you're streaming today, they're like, of course you're glad that I'm streaming today, and it's a hard no for me.
What the fuck? How could you be that egotistical? Oh my god, I'm egotistical like that as a joke, but it's very obvious a joke. Like I couldn't do that, seriously.
But it's real.
Yourself.
Like,
how big is your? How's tiny? Fucking, oh my god.
And especially for like YouTube geared towards kids, I've seen a couple channels where it's these teenage kids that are making content for the younger generation. Mm-hmm. And you can just tell they're like, buy my merch. You need my merch. You're not a whole person without my merch. And I'm like, okay, they're blocked. We're not going to watch them anymore because no. It's
supposed to be funny sarcasm.
Mm-hmm. And I can't do that. And I also know that some people want their average person content created in that positive, flawless, because that's what they secretly aspire to be. So that's what they want to watch. And that's fine too. I'm not for everyone. I don't want to be for everyone. I want to be for the people that are receptive to my ideas, and everybody else can just live their life somewhere else. That's completely fine for me.
Yeah, pretty much. Can I ask, just to re-clarify, you said you were in radio before. How has that helped you with your mentality towards streaming and just like getting into it in general?
Well, at first I wanted to do a podcast and the whole talking to yourself thing. I had some coaching about some people would even, well, I think I have it. I have an old armed mic not plugged in. See if I could not break it. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Like how this is, they would tape a picture to it. So it would look like they were talking to somebody because your cadence changes.
Really?
And that is helpful in Twitch because you are actually talking to people and it helps you seem more personable. Mm-hmm. But any kind of recorded conversation, you have to enunciate a certain way. You have to seem receptive. It needs to feel like a conversation no matter whether you're talking to somebody or not, because you want whoever's listening to want to respond to you. And that's how they feel receptive to come back to listen to you again. And
I feel like there's like a specific radio voice that I'm thinking of. I guess that's what you're talking about.
Well, they wanted me to change my voice because I have a low voice for a female, and they were like, your voice is too androgynous. And I'm like, not my problem. This is my voice.
Yeah.
I did have quite a twangy North Carolina accent, though, that I had to work on.
They didn't want you to have an accent.
No, they wanted me to sound more West Coast, is how they put it. And I was like, right. I live in a town, my county, 75% of the populace lives on a military base. Mm-hmm. And it's in the thousands. Mm-hmm. So it's a very tiny town. If I sound like one of them, it's because I am. So they would make me, it was like speech therapy through work. I had to sit in front of a mirror and they wanted me to watch my mouth while I spoke. And
I understand
in
what
radio,
going for,
you have to like be on the mic to talk. And I'm like, I had to buy one of these Because I was like, I'm not making out with everybody that works here.
Do you want me to, can I demonstrate?
Yeah.
Welcome to K109.5 Waba in the morning. Today's forecast, 69 degrees with a chance of rain. Later in the evening, lows of 20 with 4 to 7 inches of snow. Tune in to the next show, K109.5 Waba.
Yep.
That probably sounded awful.
No, it sounded very it's borderline sports casty.
Yep.
And they also have descriptions like casting calls. Like in top 40, I had to talk like this because it's top 40 and everyone's so excited.
Oh my god, welcome to the top 40 songs. Top 40 songs. We're doing a giveaway with at the 100th caller. If our broadcast gets 500 live viewers, then we'll do a second giveaway for an iPad.
And then the rock station, you had to talk more like quicker. Like, everything is wrong in the world, and I'm mad, so let's listen to some rage.
Did the water turn the friggin' frogs gay?
And, well,
in the morning.
it's the same thing with Twitch. You have to create the conversation, and you have to set the premise for it.
Hello, I've set the premise and the conversation. The water turned us gay, Waba. Oh my god. Honestly, I would expect that from our hometown. Streamer interviews, mental health, and content creation. That's the president. That's what we're talking about today. Not talking about why isn't Waba fucking playing Fortnite right now. No wonder Waba wants to drink water. That's right. This is the gay agenda. Drink the water. Become the gay. So, can you remind us, for those at home, you were on Mental Health Monday before.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things do you deal with in your mental headspace? Like, what is your mental health roster list?
A lot of it is I have this idea in my head some days that I'll fire up Twitch and nobody will want me there. Like, they'll want to bully me off. But that's not, like you said, you're the manager here. You say the final things. You can be like, mods, ban them, do this, change my tags. Like, it's your walls. You're the boss here. So for me to feel like, oh, I'm going to be a victim, that's not rational thought. And through my blogging, I try, while I'm writing it out, I can read it and be like, whoa, that's not rational. But in my head, it's harder to separate the rational and irrational thoughts. And then I'll talk myself out of streaming, and then I feel guilty for not streaming, and it spirals.
Oh,
so
why don't I have a vicious cycle graphic? Yeah. I should.
So now I'm trying to just stream anyway. And I'll tell myself I'm going to give it 2 hours or an hour. Usually it takes a good 45 minutes for viewers to show up and the chat to really fire up. But I'm like, I'm going to give it an hour if I'm still not feeling it. And sometimes I'll end up streaming my full 4 hours and it's no big deal. And other times I just give it that 1 hour and I'm like, okay, we're going to find somebody to raid. I'm just not feeling it today. But I need to get back to that. I was able to stream day before yesterday. But like this week, my daughter has a birthday tomorrow and I'm like, at first, we were going to do an outside party, but North Carolina decided it needed to be 50 degrees and raining.
Hmm.
So
Yikes.
now it's an inside party, and I'm like, ugh, my house is not great. So I have been cleaning instead, and I haven't been able to stream. But I feel like I'm getting back to that. Well, I'm just gonna stream anyway. I'm gonna give it an hour.
Yeah.
And that's the power that you have as a content creator, that I need to just do it. And a lot of times, because your anxiety does that to you, it tells you all these horrible things that aren't true. And then when you believe them, you don't do the thing. And then you're not able to enrich yourself and do the thing that you want to do, even as simple as going to a public space or a party that isn't going to bring you down. And if it does bring you down, you have the power to leave. So what are you really losing here?
Yeah. I think it's like losing control in a way, right? Because you want to feel like you're in control of your stream and your content. And if you're not bringing 100%, then you're just going to feel down on yourself for not doing that.
Yeah.
Like you bring your own energy to chat. I found this vicious cycle thing, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. So here, let me just blow it up real quick. So, and this works for everything, but especially Twitch. Feel like you're not good enough. Compare yourself to others. Feel like you don't belong. You compensate / you do stuff because of feelings. You whirlpool. You put judgment on yourself. You feel lonely. You isolate. You feel like you're not part of the game, etc. So forth, etc. So forth. And the whirlpool is just basically you keep going down that like thought pattern path. And the way that you break a vicious cycle is you start a vicarious cycle. Vicarious? Isn't it vicarious? Virtuous. A virtuous cycle of you basically break it. You basically stop yourself and be like, you know what? No. I'm not gonna compare myself. I'm not gonna tell myself that I'm bad or whatever. Or I'm not like XQ fucking C. You know. I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to be unashamedly happy with me. And that's what I've been trying to do this year. That's what I've been trying to do. That's what Year of the Waba is about. Like, it's kind of about growth, but it's more about a mentality of being 100% okay with who I am and what content I can put out and feeling valuable for what I can do. Because, like, I was feeling down yesterday, and I streamed because I wasn't going to do edits, but I still wanted to do something.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you can do. And I was running social media for a local business, and I really realized that for my own personal growth with the platform that I was trying to build on myself was getting negatively impacted from their toxicity. Mm-hmm. So once I quit that job and freed up myself for myself, it was like instantly I had more motivation. I was getting more viewers. I was being more consistent online. Like, all I had to do was just take ownership of, I had a third party paying me to do what I'm doing. Why can't I just market myself this way? Why can't I bring that energy for me? Because I am worth it, and what I'm trying to advocate and normalize needs to be out in the world. But you have to take that ownership within yourself and then recognize it as a positive impact and something worth doing, and then doing it.
Yeah, I actually couldn't agree more with everything you just said there. I'm gonna clip that as well. Like, that was actually really well spoken. I want to quote that. If someone wants to watch back that clip and add an exclamation point, add quote, one word. Yeah. Building what you want to see in the world, kind of thing. You know. I love that. I love that idea of being the change you want to see, but also being the content that you want to see. You know. Doing things that you enjoy and doing it for you in spite of having anxiety or depression or, you know, comparative imposter syndrome and all that. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's why I went ahead and self-published my books, because I know the way I function, the whole publishing world, trying to get a big name publisher or whatever, I'm going to have to go through 50 no's. And if I go through 50 no's, I'm going to focus. I'm going to read and reread those emails that were typed up by some temp and copy and pasted. But I'm going to take those words like they were written specifically for me, and it's going to make me not publish my books when I know that there are people that are going to read my books and like them. And like, I want it to be like, oh, I need to make money because capitalism. But honestly, I'm trying to donate them to the library right now, because I wish that the content that are in my books that are based in my hometown, I wish I had read them when I was coming of age, to see that there are other people like me in the world, and that's fine. That's good. That I'm validated. And I was always told that I was strange, I was weird, I'd grow out of it, it was a habit, or I was just trying to upset my ultra-religious family.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and like, no, those are none of the reasons why I simply exist as a human.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, representation so critically important, because a kid who grows up without representation is just, literally confused. They don't know what's going on. They get told by adults in their life that, like, you're wrong, and what you're doing is wrong, and how you feel is wrong, and everything is wrong, and gaslit and whatnot, etc., so forth. But a kid who grows up and they have representation, it's like, oh shit, that's what I am. Now I have, like, an identity to cling on to and just be like, okay, well, let me explore. What does this mean for me? Are there other people like me? Oh shit, there are. I'm not alone. That's huge. Like, that's really huge.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, you need to give yourself credit too, because last time you were feeling kind of down on yourself, and then somebody rated your channel with like 100 viewers, and it ended up being this huge thing. Your Discord is so busy all the time.
Is
like,
it?
Yeah, you've built a community. And I know I go there, I crawl right into your Discord when I'm having a rough day. I lurk a lot, but a lot of people have the same problems I am. I don't even have to say my problems, because other people are already expressing them and already helping them. And by proxy, I'm riding that wave.
Aw. Thank you. I'm glad that my Discord's providing value for you as a lurker. Because, like, I'm always concerned, like, oh no, people aren't really talking. Like, woo. I always get like, please talk on my Discord. But, like, people don't have to talk on my Discord, They got lives, and they do read. People do read, and I have to remember that. So I hope, like, provide some entertainment, but also some help as well with all, like, the resources we put in there. So Waba's Discord exists, Beth. Every step you take.
That song is so stalkery.
I'll be watching you.
I can just picture them with the overlays.
This has been fun.
Yes.
You only got an hour. How'd it go?
It was good. I was really nervous to start off with. Too. I'm always nervous. I'm nervous when I mean, we were just talking about it. I'm nervous when I fire up my own Twitch. But I'm always thankful and grateful.
I'm thankful and grateful for you. You agreed.
And it's also for what you're doing, it's validating. Because it kind of feels like in my own life that it's kind of a joke that I'm a Twitch streamer, but when I'm able to come on another channel and you have the same pains and struggles and worries that I do, and I look up to you as a streamer.
You look up to me?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's always somebody else looking up to you. Even at your lowest point, there's somebody looking at you saying, I wish I could be more like you. And I am one of those people for you. So always think about that on your worst day.
Dang it. We're only an hour in. You can't make me cry now. Fucking hell. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you for the kind fucking words. Wholesome. Wholesome bitch. Fucking Anyway, you're welcome, I guess. No,
I'm telling you, like, you have to recognize your own power. You tagged me on Twitter and I instantly got 15 more followers on Twitter.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah, I was like, what did I post?
I have Twitter poll. What? Excuse me.
That's how I realized that you had posted that on Twitter, because I was getting all these random follows and I was like, what have I posted today?
I genuinely did not think I had Twitter poll. I've been feeling, I always feel shit about Twitter because I think that I don't do Twitter's algorithm right at all, because I don't do any engagement farming bullshit. But fuck, that makes me feel really good, actually. Fucking hell.
Yeah, and like, I just started swiping my Twitter notifications because I knew that it was just from that post. Aww. It completely took over my Twitter notifications on my phone.
I'm sure, yeah.
I had to go on the computer to navigate it because it was just too much. It's something about the little screen on the phone.
Yeah.
After having 2 monitors to spread stuff out and see everything 4 at a time, it's like...
Oof, yeah, going from phone to computer is like... Twitter is scary, that's true. Waba doesn't like compliments. I just have imposter syndrome, and I refuse to acknowledge my existence.
You need to be able to recognize the power you hold in the world.
Hi, Coma. I do. You're fucking right, but I'm never gonna be like egotistical about it.
Well, yeah. You don't be a Kanye. Don't be a Kanye.
I would never. No. The extent of my stuff, the extent of like me being confident about stuff is basically like, listen, I think I have value. No, I know I have value. And I just hope that people see that. I just hope that people see that I have value.
And they do.
You know? And
I am proud to be a part of your community, and I found you through Twitter originally, so this awesome. Feels huge to me.
Right?
That I responded to a random Twitter, and then you added me to your Discord that's very huge and very active, and I was like, what did I just get myself into?
Dude, I still have a list of other streamers who want to talk about this as well. Like, this was a topic I was scared to do, actually. And folks know that I was scared to do this topic, but I'm really happy that I have. I'm really happy that I have done this topic so far. And yeah. Well, by the way, welcome in all the new folks. Hi, I see you. I love you all. Welcome into the Mental Health Talk Place and Queer Safe Space. We talk a lot of mental health in here, and we do a lot of variety content. We're gonna switch over to the other person now as well. Beth, again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna shout her out one more time. I'm gonna put her links. These are her links. She's wrote books. She wrote books. Go buy her books. All right. Add some value to your life and representation. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-byes.
Bye.
Come catch Waba live only on Twitch.